Hi everyone, I'm Rich, welcome back to BB's Customs, and today we're going to be doing the valve clearancing on the Virago. Okay, so let me show you where we are at the moment. I've just done a little bit of prep work just to make the video a bit more interesting for you. If I show you the bike, so obviously I've taken the seats off, I've taken the top cylinder covers off on both sides. Like that. I've taken the spark plugs out on both cylinders, and what that has done is freed up the compression so that I could get in here. I'll get you into focus. Get in here and turn this nut in here. That lets me crank the engine round until in this little window here, hopefully you can see. You see that line? Just lines up with the notch there. That's top dead centre, which means that the valves are going to be open. What I need to do though is just get the covers off. So I'll show you the ones on the back cylinder as they're easiest to see. It's this cover here and this cover here. This one's going to be a bit trickier to get to. I might need to take the battery out to do that, but I'll whip those off and then you can have a look at the valves. Okay, so now you can see I've got the cover off. So this is the rear cylinder, that's the inlet valve, and just in there you can just see the outlet valve. I told a bit of a fib earlier about that mark in here. What you need for the rear cylinder is, I don't know if you can, oh you can just see it there, is a capital letter T to line up with that, so that's the top for the rear cylinder. It does need to be in the right position. It could be 360 degrees out just because of the way it works, but you just turn that round until you see the valves. You'll see this arm move up and down. When it goes up, the valve's shut, and that's when you take your measurements. Now, the clearance recommended for these is the inlet side, so that'd be this side, is 0.07 to 0.12 millimeters. So I've got here, where is it, a 0.1 feeler gauge, and we are just going to sneak that in, and that's a nice fit in there. You can just squeeze that through. You can feel it just about bite in, so that's right. We'll leave that one alone. For the back, it's 0.12 to 0.17, so we are going to just change the feeler gauge. Okay, so we've changed the gauge now for a 0.15, which is a nice middle ground for that, and we're just going to see if we can sneak that into here. It's a little bit of a squeeze to get in. Oh, in there. And yeah, that's just nipping up on that. It goes in, but it's just a little bit tight, so that's probably about right as well. So I'll cover those back up and look at the front. Now the front's the one which I was having suspicions about, so we'll look at that next. Okay, so this is the front cylinder's exit valve, and if I put the feeler gauge in, now being the exit one, this is meant to be between 0.12 and 0.17, so we'll go for the 0.15 again, and it doesn't quite go through, so we'll try the 0.1. And the 0.1 doesn't quite go through. So we need to adjust this because it's too tight. So what we're going to do is set it to the 0.15 feeler gauge. We're going to put that there. We want a Allen key which fits in the top of there. 10mm what's this called, a spanner, which goes on there. So we are just going to slacken off this nut, whilst holding the Allen key perfectly still. We're just going to slacken that off like that. We're going to turn the Allen key a tiny amount and then nip that nut back up. Okay, we still need to go a little bit more. Like that. So that, I would say, is perfect. It's just touching, you can just feel it gripping as it goes in, so we'll just make sure that that is tight, because we don't want that to come off. So that's the front one done. Screw this back on. Okay, now this one is the easiest one to get on and off of the whole bike. Unfortunately, the inlet cover on the front cylinder is a ball ache to get off. Now on the other side of the bike, you can get the top bolt off, which holds the cover on. That's up here. That's right up. If I move them out of the way, that's right up there somewhere. But this one, this bolt here, I can't get a spanner or a ratchet on there because the carb is in the way. So to get that one off, I'm going to have to take the carb off, which isn't what I was planning on doing today. So I'm going to leave this one for now. I'm going to make a note to say I still need to do this one. What I am going to do whilst I'm here though is just take this hose off and this hose, which comes down here, just to make sure that there is definitely fuel being able to get through there. I might even take these off and have a quick look in here. Sorry, I might even take these off and have a quick look behind this just to make sure everything's alright in there. And then that's going to be it for the day. We'll fire it back up and see how it runs. Okay, so I've put it back together so that hopefully it'll start up and it will all be running lovely. I didn't play with the carbs in the end because that's something which could easily get a bit more in depth, so I'm going to leave that for now and do that at another date. So we're just going to see if switching that that front valve has made any difference. Oh, I've also noticed, if any of you can tell me, I don't hear the click from the primer on the fuel pump anymore. So if anyone else has had that, if you let me know what the solve was for that, that'd be interesting to figure out. But yeah, here we go. Quite get all four valves done, which is a little bit annoying, but at least I fixed the one which was out, which I could find. I need to take the carbs out to get to that next bolt to finish that off, but we'll do that another time. Hopefully you found it interesting. If not, let me know why and I'll try and fix it for the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.